Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual Mind Center Sunday service. And today is March 30th. Wow. And a great day. So let's just come together and go within into that inner sanctuary where there is peace, joy, love, and laughter, wholeness, and beauty. It's all right here, right now. And as we turn within and experience all of this amazing good, we know that the loving spirit of life is active right here and right now within all of us. And I'm so grateful for this day, for this opportunity to experience life in all of its beauty, knowing that all is in harmony and we experience peace and love, health and wholeness, knowing that the spirit of love lifts us up and draws us into itself. I'm grateful for this time, knowing that all that takes place is divinely guided from on high. The infinite wisdom knows what it's doing through each one of us. And so we hear what we need to hear. We say what we need to say. And all is well. And in the nature of the Christ, I claim it so. And so it is. Okay. So this morning, my topic, not that I'll stay with it, but I'll give it to you anyway. Unity is multiplicity. We are all of the one. There is no separation, even between all of us here. We are one because God is one. Life is one. And when we think of God as life, we can recognize that it's everywhere present, obviously, would have to be if we are all one. And we are breathing this life energy, inhaling and exhaling life, keeping that circle going. We see separation, individuals, and yet there are no separations. The most part of us appears to be invisible. The least part of us, even though it is a tremendous miracle, is what we see. That's this body, all of these things around us. They're all life energy. We are all this life energy. And our thoughts create our life. And this is why it's so important to be aware of what we're thinking, what we're saying, what we're listening to, and reading about, what we are talking about. Now, just a couple of days ago, we have what we call a coffee chat here where I live. And there's a handful of us that go down and have coffee and chat. And of course, here recently, the most of the chat has been political, which I tend to avoid as much as I can. But they were all getting into the woes and the ain't it awful. And so I finally just spoke up and said, you know, you're adding energy to that which you don't want. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And said, you've got to realize that thought is energy. And people thrive on our energy. So when we complain or damn anything, we are adding energy to what we don't want. Now, why would we do that? It makes perfect sense to me that to take my power back and know, first of all, I'm always safe. I'm spirit. I'm not just this body. That spiritual essence of me is whole and perfect. It knows what it's doing, but it does follow my direction. But I don't need to worry about my life or what's going to happen in the future. If I know that I'm always safe because I am spirit, I know that all of my needs and desires are manifested. When I keep my mind on joy and love and laughter and seeing all of those around me as whole and perfect and beautiful. And they're all expressing themselves in the way that they know how. Certainly, politics is something to talk about. However, it behooves us to bring the positive into the conversation. We are one. What these people are doing will not change as long as we talk about it, and give it power. It's imperative that we keep our minds clear, focused on the good, knowing that each and every one of us is endowed with divine wisdom. It's in there. And when we call on it, it comes right to the forefront. We don't need to fear anything. I think it was either Roosevelt or the one in England, I can't remember his name right now, who said, the only thing we need to fear is fear itself. Because fear begets more fear, something to fear. Because the law of our being says, oh, she's really excited about this. So let's give her some more and see if she can maintain that excitement. We are divine beings, and we have total choice as to how we are going to live this life, no matter what comes up. There is a way for us to respond so that we don't need to fear. You know, as John Anthony tells us, fear is the root of anger. And anger is rarely constructive. Sometimes it can move us from where we are to where we want to be. However, most of the time, it pulls us down. We're afraid that maybe we can't handle what's going on in our world. We're afraid that something's going to be taken away from us. Can't happen. That which is of life itself cannot be taken away. We are one. When we think, all of those around us pick up on those thoughts. And this is why it's so important for us to keep our consciousness up, to keep it healthy. And to recognize what's going on without getting caught up in it. We can still laugh. We can still enjoy each other. Everything that is really important to us still exists. And to give thanks for all that we already have and for all that is yet to come. The gratitude gives our thought direction. It directs our thought toward the good. We are one. We are one with all of those that we think need to change. But when I think someone else needs to change, it means I need to change. I need to be able to see things differently. When I look at another person, that person is a mirror. And if I'm not loving that person, I'm not loving myself. The only one we ever have to work with, the only one we ever need to change is ourselves. We're always working with ourselves. And everything and everyone is a mirror showing us what we are thinking, what we are believing. And life is exact. That mirror is exact. So we work with ourselves. We see ourselves as connected through the divine, that these particles that make up life make up everything and everyone. These wonderful magnetic particles attract and repel. Attract what we give attention to in a positive way or a negative way, and repel that which is not ours to do anything about. And it doesn't mean that we have to be hermits just because I'm the only one I'm really working with. What it means is that we can live our lives in joy, in wholeness, and in truth, with a capital T, divine truth. We don't need to assign blame for mistakes or accidents. We use our compassion for ourselves as well as others. We are one. And my teacher used to say, if you want to know what you're thinking, look at your life. Because it reflects every thought we have, makes an impression somewhere. Usually with us first, but it can spread. And when we are complaining, we're literally drawing to ourselves that which we are complaining about. If we are giving thanks and appreciation, then we attract more to appreciate and enjoy. We are amazing beings, each and every one of us. And we are all unique. We have these similarities, but we are originals. No one is exactly like me or you or anyone else. Even what we call twins are not exactly alike. We call them identical twins, but they're not. They're twins, but they are unique, as we all are. And it's funny when a new baby is born, we look at it and say, oh, looks just like his daddy. Yeah. Mm. Dwight used to say, he just looks like himself, his own beautiful self. And that's the truth. And each and every one of us have an inner beauty that shines through when we allow it. It is up to us what we show the world. But in reality, no matter what we think, say, or do, those around us will see through their own filters and decide who or what we look like, who we act like. There will always be those who make judgments. And instead of looking at someone and saying, that's a perfect Madeline. I see her beauty, her smile, her friendship. And in fact, I see that in all of you. And I practice seeing that in myself. And I know that when I'm sometimes not acting beautiful, that's not who I really am. And as soon as I recognize it, I work to change it. However, we have this whole range of emotions, from beautiful, amazing, good, to not so much. We practice being truthful, divine truth, not personal truth. Because there's a lot that is true for me, may not be true for you. But divine truth is true for everyone. And so we practice seeing everyone as they really are. We all have these wonderful personalities. And when we can learn to appreciate our own personality and the personalities of others, realizing that they're expressing themselves in the way that they know how. And we can see them as whole, perfect, and complete. And in doing that, we must first see that in ourselves. And it's really not all that difficult. We don't have to be at war with anyone. But that's a whole other story. What I really want you to take away with you, and what I want myself to take away, is that there is really no separation. Those things that we look at with love comes back to us as love. When we criticize or complain or just not appreciate, also comes back to us. Because it's all one power, one life. And we have complete freedom in how we will use this life energy. But remember, however you are using it, that is what you're living. And the only constant there is change. So love yourself just the way you are. And love everyone else in that same way. It works. Thank you for listening. And let's have our closing prayer treatment, and then we'll have our sharing time. So as we just go within and give thanks. Thanks that life works the way it does. That we have total freedom in it to be, do, or say whatever we choose. Knowing that we experience that which we be, do, and say. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to realize how amazing and wonderful we are. How fantastic life is. What a joy it is to be living on this plane at this time, doing what we're doing, making a difference. And I know that we are divinely guided every step of our way. All things are in harmony and truth. We live in grace and move through these lives in light and love and in the nature of the Christ. I claim it so, and so it is.